kind of creates weaknesses that I could attack, like queen g.
Can you help me?
Oh, wow. Where are we going with this?
Can you help me bring in the plant from the hallway?
Yeah. Right now?
Do you have time?
If we hurry, 2.5 minutes. Let's go. Let's go quick. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Blunders Rating Climb. One of the games I just played didn't make it into the video, but we're gonna just start back. My wife is here distracting me as I play these games, so let's see how this turns out. We got the black pieces. Okay. All right. Lucent Line is gonna play e4. I'm going to play e5. Just get a pawn in the center. Try to fight for control. They're playing a good move. Let's just respond the same way. So we're fighting for the same squares that they are. And they play what's called the Italian game. And you have to always be careful. This is a weak spot on the chessboard. And so I like to play the two knights defense, where we go here and immediately kind of counterattack. This is going to give them the option to play.
Water, babe?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm here for you.
Thanks. So they could have played the Italian game. Instead, they don't. They play this. Now, I think we have a tactic here. If you guys want to pause, this might be a good moment and see if you can spot it. Okay, if you had a chance to look at that, I believe we can sacrifice our knight. And the idea, this is a common one you want to keep in mind. You sack your knight so that when they take back, you're actually setting up a fork. And it turns out that after the dust settles, it's a good trade for you because you eliminate one of their center pawns. And yeah, it's just a good trade. Thanks. I'm good. Thank you. So, okay, so this is a good try. He decides to save the bishop. So we have to take our piece back. So we take it. Immediately jumps in with the knight. Now this is interesting. And it looks really good for white at first glance, right? You've got the pin, you've got the knight. But I think we have a couple of moves at our disposal. There's 1, 2. Are there any other moves? Definitely know these two are the first two that come to mind. There might be some other moves like a6 or bishop d7 that we could consider. Let's start with the obvious one, queen g5. What happens if they take me? Then we could take the bishop, or we could take this. Okay, we don't want to leave this. It would be too powerful. So yeah, we could probably go here and take this. Queen d5 also gives you the same options, but in a different way. Yeah, I'll go with queen d5. I think this is normally a pretty good response in these positions. So let's go queen d5. It's a fork, hitting both of the undefended pieces. And if they take with the knight, I'll probably take the bishop. If they take here with check, well, we will have to take back with the pawn, but that's okay. And you'll see why in just a second, probably. Let's see what they're going to do. Kind of the only move. They have to take it because anything else is just going to lose a piece, basically. Okay.
This is exciting.
Yeah. So they do take with the knight. So I think I'm going to take the bishop. You'll notice if I take the bishop, the knight's still going to be under attack. Doesn't really have anything useful to do, so it's going to have to leave. Yeah, let's do that. Then we get the bishop pair. Let's do that. So we take here, we have the bishops. The knight can't really do anything. And the other thing that's annoying about this for white is they can't castle, right? Because of this guy. So we've got that going on. They have to waste time moving their knight. Both of our bishops are kind of slicing across the board here. And
do you need a snack break?
No, I'm good. Thank you, though.
I can hold them for you if you
want. Okay. What was I saying? It was something about bishop pair and this diagonal. Okay, so yeah, the queen's under attack. That's the top priority. I would like to keep this so that they can't castle, because if we can keep their king stuck in the center, that would be a good thing. So here's one move. Here's another move that keeps the diagonal. This one's kind of nice because it also attacks the knight, which might be useful as well. So yeah, let's do that. And I had to move my queen anyway. Now I'm forcing them to have to move their knight. Then it's going to give me time to get one of my bishops out somewhere next. Let's see where they're going to go first. And it, like I said, constantly preventing the castling, right? So yeah, this is one example. There's lots of ways that it could go down, but earlier when I sacrificed my knight, I said when the dust settles, it's going to be good for us. Now you can kind of see like, okay, the dust has settled here and we have a good position, right? Okay, they go.
I'll be right back.
Okay. All right, so this is good. Let's see. We can't go bishop g4 because it's not defended, unfortunately. We could go bishop d6. I like that because then we can castle. Bishop f5 or e6. Also, yeah, I mean, bishop c5 we can't. Let's go bishop d6. Probably doesn't matter. You could probably play any of these moves and be fine, but I like bishop d6 because I do want to castle. They play d3. That's a pretty good move. Attacks my queen. They're letting out their bishop. I think we should probably take it, and this is probably going to be valuable because we're going to be ready to castle next move. So let's go ahead and take and see if we can't make use of this open e-file. So I expect they're going to take with the pawn. Okay, they do. So let's think about our options. Option number one, maybe we go with a check or a check. Doesn't seem very good. Bishop d2 would just make me lose a tempo. This check. Okay, if they block with the queen, we could trade and go into an endgame. That looks pretty good for us. Anywhere else I can go? I mean, I don't have to go with the check, but I like forcing moves, and in general, it's easier to calculate because you know they have to get out of check. So they're only have like 3 or 4 legal moves, right? So okay, they do block with the bishop. Interesting.
Do you need a tissue?
No, thank you though. I'm good.
I'm here for you.
Thanks. All right, so I'm going to think about attacking this bishop. And what else was I thinking about? Castling. Yes. So, okay, castling makes sense. Then our king is totally safe, and we can use the rook to help. However, sometimes when you have a pinned piece, you have to attack it right away because if you give them opportunity, they're going to get their king away. They're bring their rook over. So maybe this is a good opportunity to just put the pressure on immediately. And now if they try to castle, we should simply take, and with a check. There is a rook e1 though, but then we take with check. No, but then my queen is pinned. You know what? I'm just going to castle. It's dangerous starting things here when your king is still there. So because of that, I'm just going to castle just to make sure I don't run into any problems with the rook somehow pinning my queen because I forgot about some little detail.
You're good at this.
Thanks. Knight to d4. So now check looks really interesting. So here's why this looks so interesting, guys. If we can force the king to move, white cannot castle, which is good for us because then we know the king is going to be stuck. The issue is white has to move the king because they can't block here. Since they've moved their knight away, now they can't block with the knight either. And so bishop b4 check all of a sudden becomes a very powerful move. Now, normally you don't want to check them like this if they can just block with a pawn and make you waste time, right? But in this case, they can't. And I already talked about why they can't block with this and they can't block with this. Obviously, don't want to lose their queen. And so only moves would be moving the king. And then we know for sure the king is going to be stuck in the center. You cannot castle. After you've moved your king, right? So, okay, let's not forget about our queen. Our queen is under attack. So let's deal with that. We have a check.
Do you need your jacket? The air just turned on.
No, I'm good. Thanks. We have a check. We can go here. Lots of options. Let's see. Check f3. We take knight f3. Yeah, the check looks pretty good. Actually, king f1 though. I don't really worry about. Okay, let's go. I mean, king f1. I don't want to trade queens because I want to attack the king because it's stuck in the middle. But I don't have to trade. I'll move my queen somewhere else if they play king f1. And then what I like about king f1 is that it's disconnecting the rooks, right? We're not giving him the option to somehow bring this rook over and then get the king behind. Okay, f3. It's a big mistake because they don't deal with this. And so I think we just take it and we go on the offensive. It's a check. And yeah, this king is in big trouble. We've got the rook coming over. We've got the bishops kind of doing a good job, and the queen. By the way, only one move for white. Yeah, only legal move because the bishop and the queen. So, if you would like to pause, I think now's a good time. What should we play here? One move is clearly the best move in this position. You see it? No?
I'm thinking about this check.
All right. Hopefully you guys had a chance to pause. The move is rook e8. The reason it's such a good move is because it's check and the king has nowhere to go. Yeah, only move. And then we just take it, checkmate.
Yeah.
There we go.
Great.
Thank you. Let's check the game review. Let's update the stats. We're at 30 wins now. And yeah, 86, pretty nice. I do want to check quickly that one moment, because that was kind of a critical moment. So they played knight c3. I captured. Yeah, this was the best move. And there's lots of moves that white could play here. Like they could sacrifice their bishop first and then take back if they wanted to. I would still be happy with this position because I could play d5 and look at this huge center that I have, right? Even though it looks scary, my king actually hides and I'm okay. And then the fact that I have a big center is good for me, right? So that's just one example. What do they do in the game? They captured it and then moved their bishop. Yeah, they could have also moved their bishop back here, in which case I was going to do this and play probably f5, trying to get a fork. I guess f5 is not that good. Bishop d6 is what I have to play. Anyway, it gets a little tricky, but the point is you always want to be looking out for these moments where you can get a fork like this. Okay? All right, I'm going to jump into the next game, and you're still going to distract? She's still going to distract me this time, I think, as well. So let's go ahead. Game number 2. Here we go, guys. All right, we got black again. Let's just follow the principles. Fight for the center. e4. We'll play e5 again. Same deal. c3. Okay. When you see c3, you always should think about one move immediately. Particularly in e4, e5 openings I'm talking about when someone plays c3. The move that you should think about is d5. Because d5 thanks. I think it's okay. Thank you though. D5 is good because normally when you play D5 and they take you and your queen comes out, the knight is going to go to C3 and attack you, and that's a problem. But when their pawn is on C3, they can't do that, which means the best response that white normally has to D5 doesn't really do much. So that's why if you see C3, play D5 is generally a common principle. Okay, this big mistake from white. Can we figure out why? Can we figure out why? All right, so whenever you see this move, you always want to ask yourself, well, what if I bring my queen over there and put him in check? Do I have a good follow-up? The answer in this case is no. They played g3, chased my queen away, I don't have anywhere to go, I have to leave. Wasted a move. But what I can do is take this pawn first, and when they take me back, now I can go there, because guess what? Now when they play g3, I do have a good move. I have this fork. So this is why you really have to be careful playing f3 because of the risk, right? Sometimes you can get away with it, but only if you can get your knight on f3 so that this doesn't happen. If I get my queen here, now white's in big trouble.
Can you open this for me, please?
Sure. I can try to open it for you. Wow. All right.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay, so they go with king e2. I mean, this was obviously bad because of the fork. This is bad for other reasons because now your king is in the center. And so what I want to think about is what's the best way to attack this king? Now, you might be tempted to say bishop g4. But it's not winning the queen because they do have knight f3, and it actually allows them to play a nice developing move and kind of shield their king a little bit. So I'm going to avoid that and play this instead, because this way I get a pawn, and they don't have a clear, they don't have a good defensive move. They have to just move their king, right? So that's what I like about that. Okay, bishop c5. Now let's see, how can they respond? d4. I think we would take it. Take. I keep the attack going. If the king has to leave and get flushed over here, that's obviously going to be very good for me. And so I do like bishop c5. Now there might be other moves here, like knight c6, knight f6, maybe thinking about this, right? But if you have a forcing move that, if you calculate that it works out, I think that's probably the best place to start. Yeah, so we will take it like I calculated. And okay, let's just check. Do we have anything more powerful? Probably not.
Can you change the light bulb in the girls' bathroom?
Yes. Can I do it after the video?
Will you leave it on your desk to remember?
Yes.
Thank you.
Sure. I'll put it next to my water bottle and grapes. Okay. Let's take this with the bishop. And now we've... Okay, well, I was going to say we've forced the king to run out, and then we could keep attacking. But white tries to block instead, which is not a good decision because we can simply take it. Now the question is, which way do we take? Which way do we take? General rule, when you're attacking the king, you want to get your queen as close as you can to their king, and that's usually the best thing. Also, there's a very common checkmate pattern where if there's two pieces here, a knight move away, it's just going to be checkmate as long as it's defended. But there you go. That's the checkmate. And we really saw the dangers of this f3 move, right? You have to be really careful. You'll see strong players do it a lot, but they know exactly what they're doing and when to do it. If you're, under 1,000, be really, really, really careful with this. Okay. So, good game to the opponent. Let's update the win counter here. And we will jump into the next game. Okay. I'll check the game review quickly first. Here we go. Ooh, 99.8 accuracy. All right. So we did everything right, I guess, in that one. Or almost everything right. 99.8. Okay. All right. Let's go new game. Turn off this. And we get the white pieces. Let's start by getting a pawn in the center. Same kind of deal. Okay. And we will... let's see. Should I just attack? Yeah, we'll just play like some normal moves to bring out the knight, attack it, fight for the 4 central squares. We'll see how black's going to defend this pawn, if they're going to defend the pawn. Oh, they play bishop c5. Now that's an interesting move. This is called the Bush-Gas Gambit, and I don't remember what happens if we take the pawn, but I'm curious to find out. So we'll take the pawn. It's a free pawn, but you have to watch out because black has some options. Okay, they just play d6. I don't think that's the main move. I'm not sure what the main move is, though. So probably I've got my pawn, and I think I'm just going to go back. And this is a great square. We talked about the queen coming out. It stops that. So I like my knight on f3. And so, yeah, I think we get our pawn, and then we just...
Did you finish the almond milk?
I'm not sure.
Like,
Sorry,
being honest.
maybe, probably. There's a good chance I did. All right, this is under attack. I think we're just going to defend it. Oh, by the way, I could defend it like this. Why am I not going to use my pawn instead? 2 reasons. Number 1, I want to develop my pieces as fast as possible. So if I can develop one and defend, I'm accomplishing 2 things at once. So that makes a lot of sense. The other reason is this move actually blocks my bishop in. Takes away some options from me. And so that's why I much prefer the knight. Okay, so he wants to probably take and then maybe take this pawn, is what it looks like. So I'm thinking of actually letting that happen potentially. So let's say bishop c4, takes, check. I wanted to get castled and get my rook lined up here. That's what I'm trying to think through. Is there a way I can castle and somehow get my rook in position as fast as possible? Also knight d5, which looks like a really nice fork, but it doesn't quite work because of this. Although I would have queen e2, which pins the queen. And then we would have a fork here, but if he just traded and then brought the bishop back, I guess black is defending everything. So, kind of a tricky position. All that to say, I think I need to play bishop e2 if I want to do my plan. So, this is going to be kind of a pawn sacrifice. It's not really much of a sacrifice because I already won the pawn earlier, but I'm going to give it back now intentionally. And the idea is basically that if black goes for this, their king and queen are in trouble. And the reason they're in trouble is I'm going to castle, bring my rook here and line up here, right?
Can you hang this up for me fast? Hanging up your chest shirts.
Uh-huh.
Thank you.
Sure. Chess game. There you go. Yep. Okay, so he brings out the knight, and I'm going to continue with my plan. Rook e1, and I am immediately threatening. And actually, I think I might have messed up now that I'm looking at that. I was distracted hanging up the shirt. But I probably should have gone here first. Because what I want to do is move my rook and then bring my bishop and win the queen, right? By going here, I've allowed him to castle. Okay, he didn't do it. But if they would have castled here, then I can move my bishop somewhere, but they just move their queen, I think, and get away, right? What I should have done is check. Most likely they would play a move like this or like this or like this, and then bam, we have the rook and we pin the queen, right? So I kind of messed that up. That was probably not the right decision. That being said, they didn't see what I was up to, and they've actually fallen for my trap, so I will play bishop b5 check now. Discovered attack with my rook on the queen. And have to deal with the check, which does not give them time to save their queen. All right, and so you could see why earlier I was looking for this opportunity, right? Way back here, I was looking for this opportunity to set up something like what just happened, right? This was like 5 moves earlier. So it's good to kind of have these ideas in the back of your mind and plan ahead so you can be ready when the opportunity comes up, right? And so here we go. Now we are able to win the queen. Let me take that. And yeah, he's going to take...
Is tomorrow recycle day?
No. I think it's on Thursdays. Okay. By the way, she knows when recycle day is, by the way.
I think it's Friday.
No, I think it's...
It's Friday.
You're right. It is Friday. It's okay. Hold on. Thursday is the day we put it out. It is Friday. You're right. Oh man. All right. I don't know when to recycle it. She knows. I don't know. Okay. Wow. I was gonna say something about Queen E2. I think I want to play Queen E2. Pin the knight. Again, we see the same idea of taking advantage of the king that's stuck in the center. This is why it's so dangerous. So we go there. And we're going to take the knight. Now, of course, they could take my bishop, but it's fine. This is actually going to be better for me because it's a fork. Triple fork. Wait, that's a good move, I think. Defending their knight. And so now I will save my bishop. And I'm just going to go back and attack this piece. It's pinned. It can't move. It's not going anywhere. And so I'm just threatening to take, and win a pawn. So black tries to get the king to safety, probably a smart decision, and I think I will go ahead and take it. Now it's, no longer pinned, and so it could move away, so we will just go ahead and take it. Okay, and there we got the pawn. All right, bishop's under attack. Let's see if they're going to move it.
Can you untie this for me, please?
Oh, wow.
I really do ask you to untie this for me.
Yes.
Really helpful.
All right, hold on, guys. This one is okay. So while I'm untying this, you guys can be thinking, what should I be very careful of right now? There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hopefully you said the back rank. That's correct. We do not want to get checkmated, even though it's a safe place for our king. If we get, obviously back rank mated, that's no good. So couple of options. I could play h3, give myself a place to go to, but then black could go there. I have to move, and they've got a pin. and my pieces are kind of stuck here, right? So a much better way, what I'm going to do instead is play bishop f4, allowing the rook to control that, so it's no longer back rank mate, and remember, developing a piece. So it goes back to what I said earlier in the video at some point. You can do two things at the same time. That's pretty good, right? Develop and solve the back rank mate problem. Okay, so there you go there. Great. And I'm looking for weaknesses like, this is defended, this is defended, this is defended, defended. The only piece on the board that black has that's not defended would be this pawn. I don't see an easy way to attack that. So when you're in a situation like this, the next thing that I'm thinking about is, okay, what's my worst piece and how can I improve it? So this is pretty good. This is pretty good, doing a lot of stuff. This guy, not very good. So what should I do with this rook? Move it here or here? Well, I can't go here, but I could go here. So that's what I'm going to do. I've taken a bad piece. I've made it a good piece. I got more control over the board, and that's how you gradually improve your position when you play chess, just little by little.
What would you like for dinner tonight? Sweet potatoes with veggies or taco soup?
Taco soup? Yeah, thanks. Okay. I do have to keep an eye on my time. Okay, what's the knight doing? No. I guess it could technically go here. It could go here. I don't really care too much. Nothing major. Sometimes it's nice to solve these back rank mate problems permanently, and because you never know when you're going to want to use your rook, and if you do and you forget about it, you end up losing the game. So I'm going to play h4. It solves my problem, and I'm no longer getting back rank mated, even if I move my rook away. But I might also use this pawn to potentially attack the king, and it could be a multi-purpose move, right? An aggressive move, but also a defensive move. And there was nothing wrong with h3. Could have also played h3, but my idea is if I bring this up here and force the king to create a weakness around it, then maybe my queen can, checkmate the king. So let's check. No. Nothing really concerns me about that knight. It's not going anywhere. So I think I will continue with my plan of h5. The only thing I'm just wondering about is bringing my rook here. You can get your rook to the 7th rank. That's always a good thing as well. Since the knight no longer controls that, I'm very tempted to go there as well. So now it's kind of a question, which one should I do? They both look very good, right? This looks like a very solid plan. This just looks like a nice place for my rook to be. Yeah, either one. I'll play h5. I mean, I don't know. They both look good. I'll play h5 for right now. I want to get to h6 if I can. Now black could stop me, but even that kind of creates weaknesses that I could attack, like queen g.
Can you help me?
Oh, wow. Where are we going with this?
Putting it back.
We're putting it back. Okay.
Can you help me bring in the plant from the hallway?
Yeah. Right now?
Do you have time?
If we hurry, 2.5 minutes. Let's go. Let's go quick.
Yeah.
Kind of in my way a little
That looks
bit.
so nice. Keep it.
No, it's covering the mouse. It's literally, look at it. It's literally covering the mouse. Okay.
Breathe in the fresh air, baby.
Okay. Wow. So G5. Black has overreacted, I believe. And I could en passant is one thing. But I'm also considering taking this. And then, I'm going to go ahead and do it so I don't lose on time. I'm looking for the maximum way to open up the king the most. And I noticed that I could go here with a pin. And even if it gets defended, I can play f4. There you go. I can play f4. And now take. And you just really bust it open. We trade the bishop and the knight in the process. And now the king is really, really, really weak. Right? Okay, so let's bring the rook down to the 7th rank like I had talked about earlier. Just move the tree a little bit to the side. Okay, so we got the rook on the 7th rank. The king is now exposed, and it's just a question of can we find a checkmate before we run out of time. And see if my wife needs any more help with anything. So I'll go ahead and trade, and I'm going to try to use the pawn to help me here. So let me position my queen, and then maybe we can go for a checkmate somehow with the queen and the pawn.
Hey babe, it looks like we're free on Friday night. I was looking at our calendar. Can we have our neighbors over for dinner Friday?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Yep.
Love you.
Love you too. Okay, I'm gonna take this pawn, and I'm looking for the quickest way to win the game since I'm low on time. So getting another queen, right? If I don't see an immediate checkmate, getting a new queen is probably the best option. So here we go. Okay, I want to just get away from the checks. So I just hide my king. And we have a very clear plan here. Okay, push it. Get the queen. Now we have two queens. Now it's probably easier to checkmate. Yeah, and he actually makes a mistake and allows me to just take it. There's the same pattern that I showed you guys, I think, earlier in this video. The knight moves away. You know it's going to be checkmate. You can just take it, and there we go. Okay?
Help me find my phone, babe. Lost it.
If you find your phone. Here?
Thank you.
Yep.
Best.
You're welcome. Okay. Good game. Let me update the win counter here. And what time is it? You have time for one more game? Yeah?
Yeah.
One more? Okay. One more game. Let's do it, guys. Let me check the game review first. Okay, 89. Our opponent played pretty well that game, actually. They did not play bad. And almost got us on the time as well. All right, let's go ahead. Jump into the next game. We are 650. Peter-Patzer is 650. Let's keep going with the e4 and just kind of controlling the center. Knight f3. Just keep it nice and simple here. And I will play the Italian game. Why not? I think a lot of people play the Italian game as white here. So let's just do that. Attack the weak spot. We'll attack the weak spot here. I'm going to eat one of these grapes.
Okay, time to release the hyper ultra Sicilian. Full speed ahead.
Okay. Well, Hyper Ultra Sicilian. I don't know what that is, but Sicilian is C5, so we can't do that. But thank you for the advice. What was I going to say? Wow. I think I was going to say, okay, so this is the two knights defense. This is the opening that I played with black the other time, and I was talking about the fried liver attack, or I think I was about to talk about it maybe. Anyway, fried liver attack, we can do it here, and it starts with knight to g5. So what we're going to do is basically line up on the weak spot, and black's only option really to defend this is d5 to block off our bishop. Because what else are they going to do? Right? Now there's one, well, I don't know if it's an advanced option, but it's another option, the Traxler. Bishop c5. Where you just, something is funny, where you just ignore it and you go completely on the offensive. That's a wild and crazy line. Now at 650, I would be very surprised. I'm going to say very surprised if they play that. Okay. Well, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to see what they know. I'm going to see what they know about the Traxler. I think this is the not best way to take it. I think you're supposed to take with the bishop, but I'm just really curious if they do know the follow-up here, because that would be amazing, actually. And I really would like to see. Because basically, if they take this, we take back, they jump in with their knight, they bring their queen out, and black is the one who gets a really nice attack on me. So I am very curious if this is what's going to happen. You got some more advice for me? Oh, they resigned.
Never resign unless it's Tuesday.
Never resign unless it's Tuesday. There you go. Well, that's why they that was their biggest mistake, resigning when it wasn't Tuesday. Whoa! Whoa, whoa, whoa! I don't believe I've ever seen that at the 650 ELO range. We played a perfect game and they resigned. Now that's funny. That is pretty funny. Okay. I guess they didn't realize that they were playing. That's a good title. Opponent resigns with 100 accuracy. That's actually a very good title. Anyway, we're going to play another game. That doesn't count as a real game. I'll update my win counter. Fortunately for the opponent, they thought they were in trouble, I guess, because of the fork. But, okay. Next time you're in trouble, just sack your pieces and you might be playing the best lines. And, you never know what might happen. Okay, here we go. New game. Here we go. We're black. E4, E5. We're seeing a lot of the same opening today. That's fine. Hopefully we're learning something. Let's see if we... Okay, he goes with the bishop first. I'm curious. Are we going to try to get... Is he going to try... No, he doesn't. Okay. If... Let me actually stop here. If the queen would have come out, what you want to remember is always block the queen. Block the queen from getting there is what I like to do. So if it's here, I play G6 to block it from getting there. This is defended by the knight, so we're good. If they go here, I just block it by bringing out my knight, right? Just don't let them get there and checkmate you. That's the idea, okay? But they didn't do it. So we will play the two knights defense again, and we'll see if they go knight G5 and try to do a fright. They did not. They played D3, okay.
This is clearly the queen's Indian, but reversed and upside down.
No, but... Thanks for trying. Queen's Indian is different, even if it was reversed. But you are doing a good job of distracting me, so I'll give you that. All right.
Thank you.
What was I going to say? D3. Okay, so D3. They're trying to play a calm, quiet game. I like to play D5 against this move. I've studied this one a little bit. And the idea is just bust everything open, lets all your pieces out right away, fights for the center, and it leads to some really interesting positions, especially at the higher level when they will castle and play rook e1 and take your pawn here. But we're probably not going to see that today, so let's just kind of focus on the fundamentals. And let's see. So there's an attack. A lot of times when I play this line, I will ignore that. But this might be different. Let me think about this. If I ignore it, what happens? And then I castle. Huh. Okay, I'm not going to ignore it. So what I'm going to do is, remember, if I can accomplish multiple things at the same time, that's a win-win. What's going on? Well, I want to develop my pieces, and I want to defend this pawn. So you might think, okay, bishop d6, right? Develop, defend. No, my knight's going to be hanging. You can't do that. What I can do, develop and indirectly defend because we create a pin, right? Queen e4 would have been an interesting move there by the opponent, but they didn't play it. I think we probably would have been forced to trade. But anyway, so they just castle. Okay, the problem with castling for white is that they didn't deal with the pin. So whenever you have a pin, if you can pile on, that's usually a good thing. Now, in this position, unfortunately, I don't think I can quite get away with it. Do you guys see why? You see why I can't get away with this move? Well, it's because the queen would jump in with check, and then I would lose my knight, right? So I can't, unfortunately, go there. Yeah. So what I'm going to do instead is just leave it and play bishop e7. I don't want to be put in check by the queen. So I stopped that problem. And now I'm thinking about going there. Because now they take it's not check. Now it's a complicated position because there's all kinds of stuff being attacked if I do that. Wow.
Trade everything. Then you'll be up a pawn.
367, 367. Okay, we're equal.
Remember that.
Oh, just in general? Trade everything in above. Okay. Thanks.
Keep it in mind.
All right. Keeping it in mind. She says trade everything. I don't know if I agree with that. Trade everything. I don't think we want to trade everything just yet. So 94, the queen. I'm trying to understand, guys, what is happening after this happens. Because it's not that simple. I mean, yes, we could take, and if they take, we take back and we get a fork. That looks great, but actually, they don't have to take us back. They could do something else, like take here, or take here, or take here. So I could take their first check, takes, then this could happen. No, this is a total mess. All right. Well, I'm gonna play 94. I didn't calculate everything, but it looks like I'm getting some good lines here, so I'm gonna go for it. This is a bad habit. If you're playing in a real tournament and you have enough time, you want to calculate everything. But in a 10-minute game, you know, I'm being distracted at the same time, so I'm just gonna make the move. But normally, I would try to calculate everything. Okay, so they didn't play the right move. This would have been a much more challenging move because of all the threats that it would have created. And I was going to have to figure that out. This one is easy for me. And a question for you guys, which way should I take this? I think the answer is trade everything and I'll be up a pawn. No, I'm kidding. We're going to take with the bishop first. Because if the pawn takes back, we have a fork. And if the pawn doesn't take back, we just want a piece. Now, c3 is a very interesting move that I did not think about. Actually, that's probably a great move. Because they're basically saying if I move my knight, then they will take me back. And if I move my bishop, they're going to take my knight. So I need to come up... okay, I have a different move, though. I have this check, thankfully. So I'm looking for a move that saves my knight, but also doesn't give them time to take my bishop, right? And I did notice I have this check. So there we go. Check. It's going to force the king to move somewhere. And then we can decide what to do. Okay, so let's just kind of take stock of what's going on here. This is under attack. This is under attack. This is under attack. Now this is defended, so that's fine. This is defended as long as I keep my bishop on this diagonal. So options would be to go back here. And then we have to just figure out what to do about g4. Or we just sack the bishop. And we already got a piece for it. So we just sack it to just open up the king. And then we use the knights and the queen and the bishop to attack. I kind of like that, actually. So let's do it. Let's just open it up.
Consider putting your pawns in a triangle shape. Triangles win games.
Really? Okay, triangles win games. I haven't tried that, but I will keep it in mind. I mean, the London system kind of does that, so that's actually not probably that far off from the truth. It doesn't take my bishop, so I could just go back, or I could just keep trying to sacrifice it, or I could move my knight. What should I do? Okay, well, I guess we'll just... I'll just move it back. I mean, why not? Yes, they can sack the rook for the two pieces, but I've already gotten a lot with this bishop, so I'm going to come out ahead if we do end up trading. Okay, and he does go for that. So
True or false? Magnus Carlsen became a grandmaster at age 13.
I think it's true. Do you know the answer? No.
I'll Google it now.
Okay. I think he was 13. Could be wrong, but yeah, if I have to answer right now, I'll say true. I will say true on that one. Okay. So he does make the trade. I think I'm going to castle. I want my king to get to safety. I mean, yes, there's a pawn here, but he can't actually take it because of the pin. So let's get the king out of there.
It's true.
It is.
Way to go. I did not know that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Brand new teenager and GM.
Is that a kid?
Yeah.
Oh. Kids are up. All right. Let's see. How do we finish off the game? So we're clearly ahead. He's got 3 pieces and a rook. We've got our 2 rooks. Yeah, we're up the exchange and some pawns. I am going to just bring my knight back, attack the queen. I don't want to let him set up any crazy shenanigans. Okay, that's what white was trying to do, and now you can see why it's okay. Well, I was gonna say you can see why it's important to not let your opponent just do whatever they want. That's why you create threats that don't allow them to do that, right? And that's what we saw there. This is generally a good strategy because you're threatening checkmate. I can't take it because it's pinned, and I can't move, or I could, but if I do, then I lose my rook, right? So it's a solid idea, which is why I wanted to not allow that to happen, hence knight of 6. They just didn't notice the queen until too late, right? So, okay, good game to the opponent. Let me update the win counter. I think that's going to do it for this video. Kids are awake. Let me know in the comments, how did my wife do distracting me? Thanks for the distractions. Hopefully you still learned something, and yeah, let us know what next for the blunder wheel. All right, see you guys next time. Stay sharp, play smart, take care.